all of Parker County and all of Wise County. And we currently have a representative that's been in office for going on 14 years, since 1996 when she was elected. I think during that time frame, she's only had one opponent in the Republican primary, and now she has some real competition. And I think we have her running scared. And tonight, I hope that you will consider voting for somebody new for that position. You'll now have a real choice on the Republican primary ballot where you haven't had one in a long time. I'm running for several reasons, the top three of which, or the top one is leadership. The biggest reason I'm running, and the overall thing is leadership. The lack of leadership that I've seen from the Republican Party in the last, well, really 12 to 15 years. If you look back into the 90s and you see a powerful Republican Party coming on with true conservative values they were really fighting for something that we believed in, the contract with America. And since that time, you've seen too many people fall away from that goal and fall away from that dream and kind of get taken over by what you would call the Washington funk. Too many of them have fallen away from really trying to change our nation and make it back into the conservative image that we had of a limited government and greater freedoms, and have gotten caught up in too much government and too much money. I want to change that. I think our Republican leaders are sent there to change that, and they have not been changing that. We've got people that have gone from 1996 with 957 earmarks in 1996 to just shy of 16,000 earmarks in 2006. And you wonder why we lost the election. Okay, I think we lost that election because we weren't acting like Republicans. I think if we stand on our values and lead from our conservative principles, we will have we will get the people to follow us. We don't need to go to the middle of the road. In fact, I think the middle of the road has been our problem of late. Specifically, the middle of the road that John McCain was on in 2008. I mean, I understand. I think John McCain was a great man and he served his country well. But when people were looking at the presidential race in 2008, I think they were looking for leadership. And I don't think they saw it when they saw John McCain. I think we need to lead from the right-hand side of the road, from our conservative principles, and we need to develop solutions to the problems facing our nation based on those principles. Solutions that lead us towards greater freedom and smaller government. If we will do that, I believe that people will follow. Secondly, I'm running because I am a pro-life Republican, and Kay Granger is not. She touts herself as being a pro-choice Republican. She's voted that way as well. She's voted in 2007. She voted against the defunding of Planned Parenthood, followed by a flip-flop in 2009, where she voted for the defunding of Planned Parenthood. Funny thing in 2009, she had competition in a race. Also, she voted for federal funding of embryonic stem cell research, and of course she's declared on national TV, I am a pro-choice Republican. Other interesting things, if you're going to be a conservative congressman and you're going to lead on conservative values, maybe you want to caucus with other congressmen that have those same values. Well, you probably want to be part of the Republican Study Committee, a group that was led by people like Jeb Henserling in the Dallas area that has a 100% rating from Club for Growth, voting against pork barrel spending, whereas Kay Granger had a 9% rating. There's obviously a difference there. Well, lo and behold, in 2009, Kay Granger decided, I'm going to be a member of the Republican Study Committee, and now she is. I don't know how that happens, but it does. Obviously, life is a big issue there, but then you get to the budget. Okay, what are we going to do about the budget? I think if you look at where we are right now, we're almost, last year, 2008, we did spend, or 2009, we did spend $4.2 trillion in the federal budget. We're now looking at a $3.8 trillion proposed budget from Mr. Obama. If you look at the Office of Management and Budget and look at its projections through 2014, it's not a gleeful presentation to look at, or a gleeful spreadsheet. I've looked at those numbers. I've put a presentation together for those, and basically the Obama administration is predicting a $18 trillion deficit by 2014, based on the $3.8, $3.9, $4 trillion a year spending between now and then, and of course our income is significantly less than that, somewhere around the $2.5 trillion mark. Obviously, we need to get our house in order, and that's going to take some tough decisions and some real leadership in Washington. Leadership that's worried more about the results than it is about getting reelected. So does that mean I'm running out of time?
Actually, it was. It was.
It was Kay Granger. Well, tell her I said hi. That's going to take some leadership that's ready to make some tough decisions. Leadership that's willing to look at each piece of the federal government and ask these two questions. Is this a function of the federal government? If it is a function of the federal government, then great. Let's make it as efficient as possible. But if it's not a function of the federal government, then we need to be prepared to ask ourselves a second question. How do we responsibly but quickly exit this line of business? That's what we need to do if we're really going to shrink the size of the federal government and preserve our freedoms and liberties and lower the cost to not only ourselves but to the generations to come. A little bit about me real quick. How much time do I got?
You're done.
I'm done. Okay. I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you.